Nearly 150 athletes represented Team South Africa at the Paris Olympics in August and July 2024. The team walked away with 3 medals, all won by women. A gold and silver awarded to swimmer Tatiana Smith and a silver to surfer Bianca Buitendach. A reminder that when women are given the chance, they ride high. So sit back and get ready to be inspired by South African women who are forging their way in traditionally male-dominated sports and leaving a legacy for others to follow. Fondly called the godmother of female arm wrestling, at 52 years, Rosemary Botha is an athlete, coach and club owner. She also works as an administrator at a high school. As the current acting president of the Arm Wrestling Federation of South Africa, Rosemary fell in love with the sport nearly a quarter of a century ago. And as they say, the rest is history.
I started arm wrestling in 2007 and I just fell in love with it. I just loved the camaraderie and the ability to be able to just test my strength at the table and to think where I was back then to where I am now. It's such a vast difference, and my health has been vastly improved just because I do the sport.
Rosemary heads Supernova Arm Wrestling, a self-proclaimed club of champions in Johannesburg. Her dream is to see her athletes become the best version of themselves. But not everyone is a fan of female arm wrestling, and there's still a long way to go before it's wholly embraced by the fraternity.
Well, I am endeavouring to actually get more girls and women to compete, to make sure events are in child-friendly environments where they are able to come compete, have their children with them, and be a mother and be an athlete. It's a very fine line, and it's very difficult. And also to get women to get into the idea that you need to be prepared to lose at the table, because walking up to the table, you've already won. My motto is, if you come and arm wrestle, you've won. Win or lose, if they get pinned or not pinned, doesn't matter. You've won. You've tried something that 90% of the women in South Africa don't even want to attempt because they're scared they'll look stupid.
But that doesn't faze this former champion. She's just pleased that more and more women are flexing their muscles and joining in.
There is a gap because we need to get to them, to actually get them involved. I invite lots of people to come and compete and train with us, and I've got people from different demographics that train with me. I've got from Indian, coloured, black, white, everyone. The problem is that not everyone can get here, and we're busy working to try and get tables built so that we can get a table out to more areas. And but I'm trying to get into the schools because you want to have some form of control so that you can ensure people don't get hurt, because unfortunately people can be stupid. Egos get in the way. I'm going to beat you even if I have to break your arm, and we rather don't allow that to happen. So you want some control, you want someone making sure that they're safe, because one of our biggest responsibilities as South African arm wrestling is the safeguarding of our youth and the safeguarding of our disabled and mentally challenged athletes as well.
By 4 goals to 0.
Another influential figure in women's sport is Fran Hilton Smith, with over 30 years of involvement in women's football in South Africa. She played a pivotal role in the establishment of the national team in 1993, and more than 30 years later, her unwavering passion for women's sport continues to drive her efforts.
Women deserve far more recognition in all sports, not just football, women's football. Women deserve recognition across the board because they've achieved tremendous things with, I think in many cases, far more stumbling blocks and hurdles than the men have. So to achieve in a women's sport, I think, is very difficult, and women deserve the credit for that.
Hilton Smith's achievements include being appointed the first Banyana Banyana coach in 2000, serving as SAFA's technical director for 20 years, and becoming a FIFA instructor in 2001.
In my time, I've tried to prepare women to take over from me, and I think I've achieved that. I've had a lot of administrators courses, coaching courses for women, and there are now women who are taking over, like the Banyana manager, Lauren Duncan, Lydia Manyapayo is the SAFA CEO. You've got Keneilwe Matibela, another one of my HPC products. He's the coach education manager now at SAFA, head of coaching. You've got Simpiwe Dludlu, who also came from the HPC sports science degree coaching. You've got Amanda Dlamini, a huge TV presenter. I think I've made a lot of effort to develop my successors.
Hilton Smith's never sought personal financial gain. Instead, she's tirelessly fought for fair compensation for South African women footballers, advocating for equality in pay compared to their male counterparts.
Players like, for instance, Thembi Kgatlana, who is a simple girl from a normal community family, is now playing, is the second highest paid woman player in the world, with 10 million at least minimum that she's earning. So this is fantastic.
She's proud of her achievements and how far the sport's come in South Africa, not just on the field, but in terms of recognition too.
So I can sit with my feet up and rest.
Another South African woman doing her thing in the fast lane is Nicole van Aswegen. Nicole, who goes by the nickname Nix21, is one of the most accomplished female bike riders in South Africa. She won the South African Female 600cc Championship in 2010 and became the first woman ever to compete in the National Superbike race. Nicole was selected for the inaugural Women's Motorcycling World Championship in 2024. This women-only race runs alongside the Superbike World Championship, a road racing series based on heavily modified production sport motorcycles. And while Nicole goes where no woman's been before, we were quite happy to follow her. But how did it all start for Nicole?
I started quite late in my ages because I was cheerleading captain at school and I was a junior Springbok gymnast, so I couldn't actually do anything without being in school. So after I left school, I was 18, I said to my dad, no, I want to start racing a motorbike. So he said to me, okay, if you can get your knee down at a parking lot, I'll take you to the racetrack. So we went to the hypermarkets for a few times, the supermarket parking lots, and I got my knee down, so my dad took me to the racetrack, and from there, history.
A background in gymnastics has helped her not only to hold her own, but also often outperform her male counterparts.
I've been racing against males for many, many years now, and the girls, they're good, but I don't think they have the dedication and the commitment that I have. So yeah, I eat, sleep, train riding.
But the costs associated with training, equipment and travel add up, and securing sponsorship can be a constant struggle.
And it's hampering all people in sports in South Africa. Overseas, especially in the racing, the European government gives them money to race in Spanish championships, Italian championships. So yeah, that kind of funding here is unfortunately not available.
And it looks like women in that part of the world in the Middle East not allowed to race for a very long time, and now they've been given the opportunity to compete with men. It looks like we are seeing a number of women coming out.
Yes, there are some fast ladies in the world, and that's why I'm so excited to see where I'm ranked. You know, because here in South Africa you rank number 1, but over there you could be 10th, you could be first, you don't know. So that's what's exciting about it.